Toto Wolff just sent George Russell a message, and it wasn't a pat on the back. 3 rounds ago, Russell was 68 points behind Kimi Antonelli, written off. Questions being asked about whether his title challenge was already over before the summer break. Wolff himself had publicly acknowledged the spiral his driver had fallen into. The pressure, the bad luck, the performances that weren't quite landing. Then Austria happened. Then Silverstone. And suddenly Russell is 25 points behind Antonelli, with momentum building in his direction for the first time all season. But Wolff isn't celebrating. He's watching. And the message he delivered after Silverstone was pointed, specific, and aimed directly at his driver. You need to make your own luck. Not well done or keep it up. Make your own luck. From a man who has managed 6 World Championship campaigns and understands better than almost anyone how quickly momentum in Formula One can reverse direction. And with the Belgian Grand Prix at Spa-Francorchamps arriving this weekend, a circuit that Ferrari have every reason to feel confident about, Wolff's message to Russell carries more weight than it might first appear. If you want to stay updated on the Belgian GP and Russell's title battle with Antonelli, hit subscribe and turn on notifications. The summer break is coming and everything is about to change. Let's talk about what Wolff actually said, why his Ferrari warning is the real story underneath the Russell message, and what Spa means for the championship fight heading into the summer break. Start with Russell's Silverstone result, because understanding how it happened is exactly what Wolff is pointing at. Russell's British Grand Prix weekend was not clean. He lacked the outright pace of Antonelli across practice and qualifying. He suffered a mid-race puncture that dropped him down the order and forced him onto a different tyre cycle from the leaders. By the midpoint of the race, his podium hopes looked thin. Then the circumstances shifted. Verstappen crashed at turn 15 on lap 48, bringing out the safety car. Antonelli ran wide at Copse, damaging his wheel shield, earning a 5-second penalty and eventually finishing 16th. Ferrari pitted Hamilton under the safety car, thinking they could secure second place, and he came out behind Russell, losing position rather than gaining it. Russell stayed out, on worn tyres, taking the gamble that the safety car situation would hold position rather than restart the race. It did. He crossed the line second, 18 points. Championship gap down from 68 to 25 in 3 races. Wolff acknowledged exactly what happened. He just held onto a car that he didn't feel was good, and at the end, Max had the accident. Lewis wanted to go for the win and pitted, and hopefully he has a bit of positive momentum. Positive momentum. But notice what else is in that sentence. Wolff is crediting Verstappen's accident and Hamilton's strategic error as part of what delivered Russell's result. He's not saying Russell didn't deserve it. He's saying the result required external events to align, and external events aren't guaranteed to keep aligning. Hence the message: make your own luck. Don't wait for rivals to crash, teammates to get penalties, or strategy errors from other garages to hand you positions. Find a way to be in front regardless. That's a high standard. And it's the standard Wolff is holding Russell to as the second half of the season approaches. But there's a second dimension to Wolff's Silverstone comments, one that carries just as much weight for Russell's championship fight. And it's directed not at his driver, but at the competition. Ferrari. Again. Heading into Silverstone, Ferrari had publicly predicted a difficult weekend. Hamilton warned the deficit could be twice as big as Austria at a circuit with long straights and limited energy recovery. The entire paddock expected Mercedes to reassert dominance at a track that theoretically played to their power unit's strengths. Instead, Hamilton took sprint pole. Leclerc won the Grand Prix. Ferrari's SF26 demonstrated a level of aerodynamic efficiency that nobody had predicted. The car was able to manage its battery recharge cycle more effectively than expected around Silverstone's high-speed layout, offsetting the raw power advantage Mercedes carries on paper. Technical analysis of the weekend revealed why. The Mercedes W17 spent a noticeably longer period in the clipping phase, the point where the battery is fully discharged and the car is running on combustion power alone, than the Ferrari SF26. Ferrari's superior aerodynamic efficiency meant their car needed less electrical energy per lap to maintain speed, avoiding the performance compromises that come with extended clipping. In simpler terms, Ferrari were getting more out of their battery because their car was working harder aerodynamically and demanding less electrically. That's a meaningful structural advantage that doesn't disappear when the calendar moves to a different circuit. Wolff absorbed this. His post-race assessment was blunt and honest in a way that should concern anyone betting against Ferrari for the rest of the season. They said before the weekend that they're going to be lacking energy over this track. They haven't. They were a strong competitor, and this is to be expected now for the rest of the season. For the rest of the season. Wolff isn't treating Silverstone as a one-off result or a circuit-specific anomaly. He's recalibrating his expectation of Ferrari as a permanent threat, one that will show up week after week regardless of the theoretical circuit characteristics. And the Belgian Grand Prix at Spa-Francorchamps is the immediate test of that recalibration. Spa is a circuit with a specific energy management profile that shares some characteristics with Silverstone, but with important differences that cut both ways for Ferrari. The stretch from Rédillon up through Les Combes and the sequence from Stavelot through Blanchimont to the bus stop chicane will place significant demands on energy deployment. Meanwhile, the sections through Rivage, Pouhon and Fagnes offer opportunities for energy recovery where car balance and setup become decisive. Ferrari's aerodynamic efficiency advantage, the same advantage that carried them at Silverstone, should translate at Spa's technical sections. Their ability to manage the battery recharge cycle effectively through high-speed corners could again offset the raw power deficit they carry relative to Mercedes and Red Bull. But Spa's longer straights are a different challenge entirely. Spa's longer straights and the long run to the bus stop are exactly the kind of extended full-throttle sections where Ferrari's power unit deficit becomes most visible. At Silverstone, top speed numbers showed Hamilton and Leclerc exceeding 320 km per hour compared to 314 for Antonelli and Russell, a 6 km per hour advantage recovered through aerodynamic efficiency. Spa's straights are longer. The power unit gap will be harder to offset, so Ferrari arrive at Belgium as genuine contenders, but not without vulnerabilities. They'll be competitive in the technical sectors. They'll face pressure on the straights. The result will depend on whether their aerodynamic efficiency advantage can compensate for a power deficit that becomes more exposed at higher speeds over longer distances. For Russell, all of this matters enormously. A Ferrari 1-2 at Spa, even with Antonelli scoring, would be manageable if Russell finishes on the podium. But another Antonelli win combined with a Russell result compromised by Ferrari pace or Mercedes reliability would put the 25-point gap back under serious pressure. Wolff knows this. His make-your-own-luck message wasn't just about Silverstone. It was about what's coming. About a second half of the season where Ferrari will challenge for the rest of the season. Wolff's own words. And where Mercedes' reliability issues remain unresolved. 3 DNFs across the season. Russell's Canada failure. Antonelli's Barcelona and Silverstone retirements. A battery module that's still floating somewhere on a cargo ship between Montreal and Brackley. Wolff acknowledged the pattern directly after Silverstone. Generally, we just have too many DNFs. For the Constructors' Championship and the Drivers' Championship, that's something that we need to get on top of, because that has been, in a way, other than the top car that we have, and the great driving, the predominant issue. The predominant issue. Mercedes has the fastest car. They have 2 of the championship's most capable drivers, and their biggest problem is keeping the machines running long enough to convert pace into points. Russell closed 43 points on Antonelli in 3 races. He did it with a puncture, a car that didn't feel good, and an assist from events he couldn't control. He made enough of his own luck to stay in the fight. Wolff wants more. At Spa, in Belgium, with Ferrari waiting on the other side of the pit lane, ready to challenge for the rest of the season. Make your own luck, George. The summer break is 3 races away, and the championship is very much alive. Antonelli knows it too. The 19-year-old who looked untouchable after 5 consecutive wins is suddenly looking over his shoulder at a teammate who has closed 43 points in 3 races without ever being the fastest driver on track. That's the most dangerous kind of rival. The one who finds a way regardless. Toto just reminded Russell that finding a way isn't enough anymore. Creating the way is what champions do.